Okay, so we are going to be exploring some different color mixing activities using value. So we already know that value is the lightness and darkness of a color, okay? So you're gonna need a few things to get set up. You're gonna need 2 handouts, the value practice and then this value scale practice, okay? We're gonna work on this one first. You will also need to fill up a paint tray and these ice cube trays, and you need to pick 3 colors, okay? You're going to pick 1 color of your choice, and then you are going to also use black and white with it. You will also want a paper towel. You will want to grab a paintbrush from your bin, and then you are going to want a palette knife or a mixing knife. It might just look like a plastic knife that's going to be over by the sink, okay? And then I will give you a little plate to do some mixing on, okay? So we do not need a water cup or anything like this right now. So let's begin. So first off, here it says we are going to be creating a tint, which is using white plus a hue. Hue is another word for color, okay? So a hue would be red, blue, green, basically all of the colors that we see on the color wheel, okay? Now, if we think about it this way, if we were to create a tint with red, that color is going to be pink, okay? So pink is not a hue, red is the hue, okay? Does that kind of make sense? You could kind of think about it with like, okay, maybe it's going to be a baby blue because we've mixed white with it. Baby blue is the color, blue is the hue, okay? So let's go ahead and get started with this first one. So when you are mixing, think of this as a Venn diagram for your colors. So I'm just going to scoop out a little bit of my purple onto here. Use your paper towel to wipe off that palette knife in between, okay? Then, so that keeps your paints clean because we will continue to use these. You'll store these in your bin. All right. So now I'm just going to be ready to fill these in, okay? So you might be like, well, it's a white paper. It sure is. So go ahead and just start by filling in that one side completely blank. And so I'm going over top of it like this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off my brush. I am not using water, just really kind of scrub it out as best you can. Then I'm going to take my purple hue that I have here, and I'm going to start by filling this half in. Okay, so then I will start to overlap it, and you'll see that that portion there is a little bit lighter because it did have the white already under it, okay? So notice the difference there. If you would like to add a little bit more white to it, you can either mix directly on your plate with that color and then add it in there, okay? So we will continue these same things with every single one of them. So then for the next one, we're gonna make a tone, which is gray. So what you'll do is, I already have my black on here, or my white on here, so I'm going to add a little bit of black. Then using my palette knife, I'm going to pull this over here, wipe that off, then take my white, and then I will start mixing my gray color. So now I have my gray. So let's go ahead and fill in. So the gray is already there. If you would like to, for practice, actually paint over top of it, by all means, go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna recommend that you do that. Okay. So then now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this middle section first. So I'm going to clean off my palette knife, and I am going to take this purple and I'm going to mix it in with my gray. So you can see that it's kind of still becoming, it's still this purple color, but it still has that gray tone to it. Okay. Fill that in there. And so it certainly looks a lot different than that tint. And then you will fill in the rest of your section with whatever your color is, and you will continue this with the black. So I'm just going to go ahead and speed this up. Okay, so there you have it. You see that all of those tints, tones, and shades of purple all create a little bit of a different experience to create value, and you're going to go ahead and practice that.